DC opens its doors, the internet is not happy with Doja Cat, and some serious news for the finale. Hey everyone, Bello Youngfellow here with Millennial Minutes, here to give you a recap of this week's hottest topics in under 5 minutes. I had one job. Cue the intro. Free at last, oh I say free at last. Or partially at least. Some good news for the people who live in the district. Here in Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser has lifted the stay-at-home order effective May 29th at 12:01 a.m. So, if you want to get a bite to eat, you can go to a restaurant, but it must offer outdoor seating though. Plus, tables must be 6 feet apart and no more than 6 people can be seated at one table. Customers must be seated when they place orders and when they are served their dish. For restaurants that don't offer outdoor dining, the DC government is working hard to fix that problem. Here's something you might find interesting. DC has asked all of its restaurants to keep track of its patrons as a way of tracking any new COVID-19 cases. According to Andrew Swalek of NBC4 Washington, DC asked but did not require restaurants to keep a log with the name and phone number of every customer so that if someone tests positive, others can be informed of their exposure. In addition, this phase 1 of release comes with a bit more contingencies. For starters, some businesses will not be able to open their doors just yet. Mayor Bowser may have lifted the stay-at-home order, but she extended the state of emergency declaration up to July. As a result, some of your favorite businesses may still be closed for now. Want to go to the gym and work on your summer body? Nope, all gyms and fitness centers based in DC will remain closed. Were you planning on getting a new tattoo? Guess again, tattoo parlors are also closed. Oh, were you planning on going out with your friends and doing some bar hopping? Lol, you thought, now get back in your house. The following non-essential businesses, among others, must remain closed except for minimum business operations, curbside pickup or delivery, or home-based services. Gyms, spas, massage parlors, tattoo parlors, nail salons, yoga studios, jewelry stores, clothing stores, florists, theaters, museums, and toy stores. Bars, nightclubs, mixed-use facilities, and private social clubs will remain closed except for minimum business operations, curbside pickup or delivery, or home-based services. That sucks, but at least I get to finally get a haircut. I mean, look at me. I'm surprised I'm even allowed to be on camera. On a higher note, there is a silver lining to all of this. Data released on Wednesday indicates that Washington, D.C.'s transmission rate of COVID-19 has decreased for 14 days straight. Plus, parks, tennis courts, golf courses, and track fields will remain open, but you are not allowed to play contact sports such as basketball, football, or soccer. Can't wait to see you guys outside again, and if you do see me, make sure you're 6 feet away from me at all times. Next up.
Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. I'm not a cat. I don't say meow.
But in this case, I do say I'm sorry because I may have offended some of you for my past actions. The multi-talented musician Doja Cat went under fire this week after videos of her past music resurfaced. These old songs contained some racial slurs and anti-black lyrics that didn't sit well with the good, fair people of the internet. But the past songs were not the only thing that lit the fire under Doja Cat. It was also revealed that the musician used to use online chat rooms that were mainly used by members of the alt-right. For those of you who don't know what a member of the alt-right is, it's a person who identifies themselves as a part of the alternative right. The individuals tend to be people who believe that white identity is being attacked by progressive ideology and multiculturalism. Moreover, alt-righters believe that their civilization, in this case white people's, is being dismantled by the increase of diversity and inclusion. Their civilization. Anyways, turns out Doja Cat used to be on those types of chat rooms and use it as a platform to socialize with others. The singer did come out to acknowledge her past actions and gracefully issued an apology. She stated on an Instagram post, "I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended." As for the old songs that's resurfaced, it was in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience. It was written in response to people who often use that term to hurt me. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized that it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. When things like this happen to a celebrity, I always wonder if they ever thought they would have to answer for their actions in the future. I'm pretty sure Doja Cat didn't expect to be a hit sensation when she was just starting out as a musician, yet here we are. Live and let learn, I guess. And finally, I want to take a break from some of the jokes and get serious for a moment. Some of you may already be aware, but the city of Minneapolis is currently the focus point of the most recent account of dishonorable police conduct in our country. It all started on Monday evening when 42-year-old George Floyd was detained and arrested by Minneapolis police under suspicion that he was passing along fraudulent currency. Video captured by police surveillance shows Floyd being compliant with the officer's demands and walking with them as he is taken away in handcuffs. But another cell phone video quickly flips the narrative after it is shown that Floyd is on the ground with one of the officer's knee on his neck, slowly suffocating him for 7 whole minutes. Moments later, Floyd is rendered unconscious and then dies at the scene. The cell phone video went viral and sparked outrage among citizens, politicians, and even celebrities. The outrage escalated to protests being held in Minneapolis and in other parts of the country. Hundreds gathered near the spot where Floyd died on Tuesday to protest the gross misconduct by the city's police. The incident resulted in the firing of all 4 officers that were present at the scene. In addition, it has been confirmed that the officer that put his knee on Floyd's neck, Officer Derek Chauvin, has been arrested and charged with murder. If you examine the video, you can easily see that Floyd has been apprehended and put on his stomach on the ground. At this point, Floyd no longer presents himself as an immediate threat to the police. Yet, the officer still lays his knee on his neck for unknown reasons. Associated Press writer Lisa Marie Payne spoke with former police officer and FBI agent Charles P. Stevenson, who is an expert in use of force tactics. In her article, she writes, "He wasn't actively resisting, and he was saying he couldn't breathe," said Charles P. Stevenson. "You have to understand that possibility is there, that Floyd couldn't breathe, and you release any kind of restriction you might have on an airway immediately." I want to take some time right now to issue my condolences to the family of George Floyd and all those who knew him. We as a nation have seen police brutality committed against unarmed black men for years, ever since the infamous Trayvon Martin case in 2012. And yet, 8 years later, here we are, still seeing unarmed black men being killed by the police. The officer that committed this crime is indeed guilty, but just as guilty are the other officers at the scene that just suffered from bystander syndrome while George Floyd was crying out for help. The purpose of the police is to answer those cries for help, regardless from where they come from. We as the black community expect to be treated as human beings, and we won't settle for anything less. To all my fellow black sisters out there, thank you so much for standing by me and my fellow black brothers' sides as we continue our journey to see racism defeated. To my fellow black brothers out there, do not be afraid. We must continue to fight the good fight in the name of those who have fallen to racism's wrath. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Millennial Minutes, and God bless you.
Look, they're doing it right there. That's fine.
Shit,